Welcome back to Regular Guys Outdoors. I'm Chris. Today is day 3 of the elk archery season here in Colorado, and this morning I slept in. I've had zero action in the morning, not that that's an excuse to sleep in, but man, I've been really tired both days, really wanting to take a nap. Like my body feels fine, but just like my eyes just want to close and stay closed come about noon. So this morning I slept in pretty good, and then I've relocated. Now I've been walking down this road behind me here both nights, so I decided, why don't I just drive over here and save myself 2.5 miles of walking in the dark. So I'm here now. It took me a while to get here, and I tell you what, the road was bad, a couple wrong turns, and I tell you what, old Blaze here, she has been a beast off-road. I mean, some of this stuff was just nasty, and I've got just enough ground clearance and tire height to get through some of this junk. I did not bottom out on anything. I took some pretty good lines, and fortunately we got here, but man, it's tough sledding. You're not going to get a stock half-ton pickup truck back here, that's for sure. I get away with it because I got a short wheelbase, fairly narrow. I can turn pretty tight, and I do got a 2-inch lift on this thing, so I've got a little bit of ground clearance. I don't know if you can hear that. That actually is a little bit of hail falling. It's bouncing off. Yeah, that's a little bit of hail. Crazy. So tonight, it's about 12:30 right now. Tonight at about 2:30, or this afternoon about 2:30, we're going to get up there, get back into that spot. We're going back into that same spot. I had originally planned to move locations entirely, but I thought, one, I only spooked the one group of elk that came in. The other group kind of left on their own accord after I missed the one, which is painful, by the way. Anywho, at least I got it recovered, so that broadhead can either be resharpened or used as a practice broadhead. Otherwise, that would be a very expensive loss for not getting an elk. Before I got off track, I was going to relocate to a completely different spot, but I figured if I completely relocate and don't see anything, I'm going to feel really stupid for leaving elk. So I think that one herd might come back in. Maybe there's another herd that'll come in tonight. I don't know. We'll get up there by around 3:30, and we'll be setting. They came in last night. I think it was 6:15. Maybe as late as 6:45, but it was 6 something. So hopefully they repeat that again. I got to adjust my position based on the wind a little bit, and based on the fact I would like to be in a shooting distance when they get in there, versus last night I had to wait for that one to come in close and all the others stayed away. So we'll get back at it this evening. Tell you what, I've run into a few people and they remember Brian and I from 2021 when we were here. It's crazy. Crazy. They got great memories. More than one person. It's been like 3. I do remember the one guy's name. I just don't remember faces and all. That's 3 years ago. But they sure remembered us. They remembered what we were driving, where we camped, that Brian was taller, that I'm the army guy. Tell you what, great memories. We could only be so lucky. I don't know if I said, but it's closing in on 2:30, and we'll be up there probably, I'm not going to push it hard, so probably after 3. It's not that far up in there. I'm just not going to go real quick. We'll take our time. I'll take the way that I think will avoid any bedding areas, potential bedding areas. Let's try to get in there clean like we did yesterday. We got in there clean yesterday. We'll keep tabs on our wind and try to get ourselves into a position where I can shoot at them if they're come in the same way. I'm only up there about an hour when I start hearing noises from the direction they came from last night. I'm pretty sure I just heard a cow call. 2 cow calls. From basically the direction they came last night. I'm gonna start getting a refresher on some of my ranges. I actually think I just got some hunters coming up on me. There was a bugle that definitely had that tube bugle sound. Now a cow call again. Seem to be making a lot of noise for hunters though. But it's not hunters, it's the real deal. There's a bull. He comes in about 45 to 50 yards away, quartering in hard and just cut across a little gap. So eventually I stand up when he doesn't come around the corner, so I'm trying to look through a bush and see if maybe I can see his antlers or something through the bush. Eventually I shift my eyes over to the right and there's a cow staring at me. Cow. She got up above me. So that's another herd I've busted at that water hole. About 2 hours later, I start hearing noises directly across from me. And then out of nowhere from my right, this elk shows up. You can see it real quick right here. It's a cow. Once again, too slow on the draw. She moves off to the left. Now I lost track of them and I couldn't hear or see them. And so I'm peeking out around the left, hoping maybe I see them over here. But then eventually I see them again. Okay, a couple. They're still here. And the one looks like it's going to walk back the opposite direction, back across that opening. Oh my God. You've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. That one was at about 50. Going like this. She's starting to come back this way. I got a nice hole right here. And as she's walking, all of a sudden it looks like a head pops out of her butt, looking right in here. You gotta be freaking kidding me. She saw me through this hole right here. I was gonna shoot through here. She saw me through that little hole right there. You gotta be kidding me. I needed a few more seconds. She was right there at 35. I couldn't just draw right here in the window. So I was back here and I went to draw and she moved forward. Stepped back so I could draw. Oh, dang it. Turns out I'm 3 for 4 on busting elk off that water hole. I don't care whether it's baseball or basketball, that's a heck of a good average. Thursday morning I try a different tactic. I end up going through some really nasty junk, but I'm heading towards a bugle. So I'm trying to be quiet as I go through all this junk. I was in and around the elk all morning that day, but I couldn't close that last 30 to 50 yards. And the video doesn't do it any justice. So I'll just show this next clip because the audio here was pretty cool. At least I thought so. And once they got hopelessly ahead of me, I saw a really dark cloud heading my way. Well, we're gonna head back to the car since we're not that far from it. I don't know if you can hear that rumbling. The forecast has changed a little bit. The storms are coming a little sooner and lasting longer, so this might be a wrap for today. But up at the top where they were, I could get there in the morning in about 90 minutes, and I can come in from a different way than they're going. Basically, I would travel up the way that I went to the water hole I sat the last 2 nights, and then I would slide across the bench and be right up there. So it's a pretty easy get to, even in the dark, to get to that water hole. I can do it, especially with the red lens, but I wouldn't have to start too early. They got up there at about 8, so I could easily be up there at 6:30 with a little bit of an early start as the be up there as the sun cracks, and just be up there and let them come to me. Oh boy, it is a race. It's a race. It's really rumbling out there now. Angry sky went from being behind me to being above me. Well, we made it back just in time. Just in time. So I think that's gonna wrap up day 4. I think we got a good plan for day 5 though. Friday morning, it was quite chilly, and it was a ghost town pretty much. The rest of Friday was also quiet in a ghost town, as was Saturday morning. Well, I think that's going to wrap up this round of elk season. These elk have been a tough nut to crack. Not that I necessarily do a great job of cracking on anything else I hunt, but man, these elk, they're tough. Where they live is tough. This terrain is tough. The wind and thermals beat you down mentally because you think you've got it figured out, and then the wind will just 180 on you in a heartbeat. Like right now, it's still fairly early in the morning. If you get over here in the shade, you can feel that thermal pulling down from the cold, step out into the sun and it reverses and it's back up in your face. Then you add the wind that's coming in a little bit from the west, and but then all of a sudden, bam, it'll come in from this way. It's tough. It is tough. I don't claim to have all the other things I hunt figured out. Mule deer, whitetails, turkeys, ducks. But these elk, they're a different level of tough. So we're gonna have ourselves our consolatory cup of coffee here on the mountain. Then we're gonna hike down this bad boy, take a route I've not taken before, just to lay eyes on it for maybe another time. Weather was pretty good. Can't complain about that. Just had the one day. I do think though this area, this immediate vicinity is blown out. They're done with our shenanigans. They've left, or they're moving so early and so late that it's dark before they're up on their feet. Either way, I think this place is blown out. But the upside, I have been closer to elk this year in these Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 5.5 days than I was all of last season. So can't complain about that. Can't complain about me being stupid and not having my sight set where it's supposed to be. Should have been a done deal on Tuesday night. But that's what happens when you're a moron. Well, they say life's hard. It's harder if you're stupid. There you go. There you go. And we got that nasty drive out of here that poor Blaze has to put up with. Slow going. And then we'll start getting all of our stuff cleaned up, repacked, resituated. I got a big list of notes of things to resupply food-wise, and a couple things to make sure I bring. One of them's going to be a turkey gator, the little mask I pull up when I'm turkey hunting. That would come in much more handy than putting this crap on my face. So definitely a face mask. And if anybody ever says elk can't see good, I don't think that's true at all. I think they see just fine, because they were popping me through the bushes. I mean, they probably saw my movement through the bush, but movement does kind of negate any type of camouflage. Doesn't matter what you're wearing if you're moving around. So anywho, hope you like these videos. I don't know how many it's going to be or how many it's been, but if you like these videos, give us that thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and as always, thanks for watching. And the taking off of the bow release officially ends this round of elk season. Round 1 is in the books. I hope you join us for the next round when Brian and I head out together. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button down there, and as always, thanks for watching.